actual band name Foxfires is folklore terminology for bioluminescence in like the medieval times and whatnot. And so like all the glowing algae, fungi, mushrooms, and whatnot that you'd see in like a forest, even like glowworms and stuff, that all glow like a bluish green, that's foxfire. Initially, me and Christian started jamming in late 2013, and that's kind of how the band started. We had a lot of similarities as far as like indie rock artists and stuff. Like we liked Vampire Weekend, Young the Giant, The Strokes, but one band we really clicked with was Wilco. So we started off doing stuff like that, and we both were really into the Flaming Lips as well, so we started mixing a little bit more of like a trippy psychedelic thing into it. So that's originally where the idea came from. I always wanted to do something very like summery and uplifting, but with like all these very weird combinations, like very shoegazy, which is another really big influence in our sound. So I think it was a major combination of like shoegazing, like indie rock, pop, and maybe a little bit more of like a summery feel, and that's where like sea gaze came from. And whenever someone is asked us like where does like your music come from, like what's the vibe of it, I like to describe it as gazing out onto like the ocean with like waves crashing and stuff like that, like maybe the sun is like setting or something like that. So like that feeling you would get of like calm, collected, everything is like really coming together, and it just for some reason everything just makes sense, and it doesn't really like, you can't put it to words, it's more of a feeling. And that's what I like to think of when we're making music.
Spring is when I found room. Spring on the city of my feet. You lie. I'm a crash slowly drifting. I'm cleared up in the tide. I believe I finally been set.
What don't you tell us about the tour?
We pulled the Damascus.
We didn't kill each other on tour, so that kind of also, kind of gave us a little bit more confidence as to, how we'll be able to hold up.
Tour. It was crazy, to be honest. Like, I've toured in other bands before, but never the way that we did. Like, we toured literally with a show every single day the next day. And although we did have a few friends, like we had my brother who's in Providence, Rhode Island, we had a friend of Brandon's who lived in North Carolina, and so along the way we did have places to stay, but there was a lot of nights that we'd have to spend either driving through the night or sleeping in a Walmart parking lot. It was a beautiful experience, and to be honest, it was so unexpected. Like we were ready to tour, and we wanted to tour. We know this is what we want to do, and we practiced a lot. But, obviously not everything goes right when you're on tour. Someone might back up into your car, or you might be riding someone's skateboard and bust your hands open,
Yep.
or you might lose your voice the second night of tour. And, regardless of those things, playing all these shows and getting the reactions that we did was so, it was overwhelming. I've never, ever experienced something like that before.
It's okay, I played Nurse Joy and cleaned him up.
Yeah.
No.
He was referencing to
Everything that happened to me.
after
to him.
After the first night, after the first show, we're riding to Virginia Beach, and I had just bought a new longboard, and I'm like, hey, you haven't ridden my new longboard yet. So he, gets on the longboard and falls.
Yeah.
But we kind of taped him up, and he played Nurse Joy, and
Asheville, North Carolina is beautiful.
Asheville, North Carolina. We definitely
Providence, Rhode Island is beautiful.
But we definitely lived the Southern hospitality.
Oh yeah.
It was wonderful.
Yeah, I even developed a fake redneck Southern accent. I think that comes from my father's side.
It was definitely an experience, and I feel like for all of us, we have an overwhelming amount of positive memories from that tour, and there was definitely very little negativity to take back from it. If anything, it
brought us
just
closer.
it brought it, yeah, and it actually really made us feel even more confident that we're doing the right thing. Well, the first song we played is called Spring Equinox, and it's actually the single off our latest recording called Seasons. And we recently this summer recorded a music video for it, and that's, you know, kind of like the image that we've been putting forward in the band. I guess you could say it's like one of our most like more dancey songs off the record, and you know, it's just I guess I would have to say like it's very like fun to play. We're trying to get the people dancing, and definitely has a lot of energy and kind of gives a good I guess window into the kind of sound that we have in terms of going with this like shoegaze, very summery, very like easygoing, very peaceful, a very fun idea that we have, you know, to our music.
Shout out to Trump.
Well,
No.
well,
No.
first of all, I mean, I guess we would all have to like, you know, thank our label, you know, Manic Cat Records,
Mhm.
because they've definitely, you know, had our backs from the start, and you know, just like any relationship, it has its ups and downs, but they've been just on us about everything, and they've, you know, regardless of everything, have helped us grow as artists, and have actually really helped us come into our own. And if anything, if we're pushing ourselves to work harder, it's because of, you know, the label, and you know, them having our backs, and us in turn, you know, working harder to have their backs. So it's a really, really cool relationship. So, you know, I guess as a band, we want to like thank the label for how far they've helped us come.
Aside from our record label, I'm pretty sure we'd like to thank all our friends and family for being so supportive of us over the years.
Especially the people who were sort of inadvertently kind of like family members to us, as far as like father figures and mother figures and brother
yeah.
figures and sister figures. Just people who have been there like throughout, who really supported us, like is like in terms of all the people who really believed in us from the beginning, or if they met us later down the road, they believed in us from then until
And,
now.
Yeah, everyone we've
Yeah.
met at a show, everyone that we've grown up with, everyone that we've just come in contact with, you know, in and outside and around this band, is just it's really helped us to get to where we are. And I think a lot of that is it begs it begs for thanks and praise. You know, in addition to that, I think I'd like to thank all of you guys for being so actively original with everything that I would come up with, because it's a beautiful unit. Like if I didn't meet these guys, I don't think I'd be in a band. So in all honesty, I think I'd have to thank you guys the most, for sure.
I'd have to thank you guys too. And especially you, big guy.
No, big guy.
Aww.
You know, so cuteness. Oh, you the best.
We're gonna have
You
a
the
fox,
best.
a fox
You the
hug on
best.
camera.
You
We're
the
gonna have a
best.
fox hug.
Oh.
Fox hug on
Fox
camera.
hug.
Oh. Oh no.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
You're crushing
my
my esophagus.